earnings play. It's all right. We're leveraged here. We have stacked our standard calls. I'm in the 230. I'm in the 300. I'm in the 500. I'm in the 620. I'm in the 700. I got this 900, and I think I'm like in a 940 out to somewhere. So, I mean, you can see that this is a company that I've been investing in for a while now, and most of y'all have been here since I shouldn't even say a while. This has happened really since November.
Yeah.
And the gains have been astronomical. And so, can we make some short term here? We have, right? 90%. So if you figure if the contract was 6,000, you bought two of them, that's 12,000. You've made nearly 12,000 in 2 days by making one decision. One decision.
And the most important thing is to have your predetermined target. Like for my futures traders as well, you have to know if you're going to get out at 100%. Like, so for me, my NASDAQ target that I gave away at the mastermind, that's 260% return. My big target at 11 to 1, that's 1,100. So you have to know before you get into the trade, what profit marks are you going to take off? So please write that down now. Is it 100? Is it 200%? Because you don't want to be in between and be like, well, I'm up 250, but you should have exited already. And then earnings comes, it reverses your fate, and then you're upset. Have those predetermined numbers. And then you can know if I hit these numbers 4 or 5 times in a year, I can be done. So,
and those are the best phone calls. Those are the best phone calls when you watch something go up 90%. And I'm like, hey, what you going to do?
Yeah.
Right. You're making money. Now what do you do? Like, I got to call, hey, I'm up 90%. What should I do? I'm like, you're up 90%. Like, and that's why the market is so great. Where else could you make 90% of your money?
And not have to talk to nobody unless you want to.
Just quietly just do it, move on with your day, and go on to the next opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, put in chat. What do you think? What's your thoughts on the situation?
Yeah. It's risky though. And I know. So the reason I'm going to call him is because risk is not in part of his nature.
Which is good.
And risk really isn't mine. I'm always, and this is why, like, people will say, well, why didn't you put that in? I'm like, well, that's risky. And that's something that is kind of like, hey, we're leveraged here. And so there's an opportunity to make money. We're already in the long term. I always suggest people start with the foundation, never sell your foundation, but build from it. And so the fact that we've built a foundation, we have some stacks here. This is an opportunity for a company that, again, I believe is going to blow out earnings Thursday. But it's a big week, right? Could what happens on Tuesday and Wednesday with Microsoft and Google, could that affect the market for the next 2 or 3 days? We're going to see.
And it always bleeds over. When you begin taking too much risk, it never stops. Like if you look at Sam Bankman-Fried, had he not committed fraud, Sam would be arguably baby Buffett, given his investments into all of these startups, but he didn't get a chance to finish the race, putting too much risk on the table, thinking you can get away with it. My dad used to always tell me as a kid, a lie's only good till the truth shows up. And the truth is going to show up at a time when you don't want it to. Had he just been able to stay out of jail 2 more years, he'd be up, what, 26 billion or some crazy number?
They had him at 114 billion.
See.
Anthropic, no, he did a lot of...
200 million in Anthropic before anybody knew what it was.
Databricks, like, bro. So,
well, granted, it wasn't his own personal money,
right?
But yeah, he made very good
some great investments into it. But the risk tolerance. So when you say, Rashad's anti-risk, as an investor, the first, even when I like in that selection of Google over Nvidia or YVOO, the first thought has to be, how can I mitigate all downside? That's the first. Not how much can I get, because if you take care of losing a lot, the upside is always going to be there. But this can go into perpetuity. It happened with Enron. It happened with Madoff. Those characters, and now we're seeing in this case with Sam Altman, the character and risk taking bleeds into the return and valuations of the company.
Yeah, and notice the allocation of contracts. It wasn't, hey, we're buying 100 here, we're buying 50 here.
Yeah,
we're buying 4. You're buying 8.
Yeah,
right. Like this is not, hey, let's put the house on this.
Yeah.
This is not. We're not gambling it. We're saying, hey, we're leveraged here. Here's an opportunity.
And for people that's wondering what I'm going to do, I'm definitely probably monitor the situation. Ian said that's something that you said you can never lose profit at 100%. But what I do think I'm going to do is sell it on Thursday. Taking it to Friday is just too risky for me because we've seen a lot of times what's been happening with these earning reports and that the stock has been dropped. Even if we saw it happen with Micron, we saw it happen with Nvidia twice. And it does expire. Now that I'm thinking about it, it expires on Friday.
Yeah.
And the earnings is Thursday after the bell.
Yep.
So holding it to Friday, that's really
you can run a flight.
I'll do the opposite, and we'll report back.
Okay.
And then it's always your next month. And then it's stressful being at an event. You got to be present, accepting an award, and you checking your phone, or you in the bed. Hey, you ever been in a trade? You ever been in a
You on a
trade
flight? On a flight?
Oh my
on a
God.
flight and you get smacked, and now you got to be social?
Now you got a text like, what happened? What happened? What happened?
Old demeanor be mad. Like, and then you got to wait till Monday to get back into a trade. Oh my God.
Yeah. Here's a disclaimer. Either way, I think we'll both be okay.
Yeah.
So if everybody, I think we'll be okay. Yeah. Either way.
Let's talk about cybersecurity. Cybersecurity investing. We talk about cybersecurity a lot, and that's another call that we're in as far as CrowdStrike.
Yep.
But cybersecurity, what is the deal with cybersecurity investing?
I got a great question from somebody who's been watching the show for 5 years. The affiliate. Shout out to you. Is it risky to invest in cybersecurity stocks, given the rise of Anthropic and its capability to send shockwaves throughout that industry? I thought it was a great question.
Are you going to answer? Or you want me to answer?
I want you to go first.
Is it wise to? I think people are looking at it the wrong way. I think most people would say, based on what they saw Mythos do, hey, this is going to disrupt and cause great change inside of cybersecurity. I'm looking at it the opposite way. I think what it has done has accelerated the opportunity and the need case for cybersecurity. Mm-hmm. Because the more artificial intelligence we have, the more intelligent it becomes, the more flaws it can find, the more that they're going to have to combat that. And so on a personal level, it makes sense. But on an enterprise level, you're going to need a company that can do real-time, in-demand, AI-driven protection. Mm-hmm. And you're going to need that every second of every day, because AI is working 24/7. And so you're going to need your security to work 24/7. And so I think it actually accelerates. I know it feels away now because a lot of them are pulled back. CrowdStrike has kind of crawled back up a little bit here. Palo Alto, Zscaler, all those companies, I think we're going to see them in the next 2 to 3, I didn't even say 5, how much in demand they're going to be because of the advancements in AI.
What if, Rashad, really quick, what if Anthropic becomes a cybersecurity company as an extension or arm, no pun intended, of the business? Would you still feel the same, Rashad?
I think that there's definitely possibility of that happening for sure, but I think that there's going to be need for companies that specifically focus on just that. Mm-hmm. So you look at any industry, there's always companies that do things, and then there's companies that focus solely on that. I don't think a company that just has it as one of the things that it does is ever going to match potentially a company that's just solely focused on that. There's always going to be industry leaders and some companies that are just so focused on one thing. Mm-hmm. So cybersecurity, like you said, that's only going to increase. The need for cybersecurity is only going to increase from a government standpoint, from a private sector standpoint, a banking standpoint, financial standpoint, medical information standpoint. Everything cybersecurity is just going to get bigger. So I think there's enough room for everything. I don't think it's one company that just like even if they create their own arm, I think that there's still room for other companies, right? Because the need, as technology increases, the need for cybersecurity is going to increase.
Yeah.
And it's going to be more investment. It's going to be the point probably the government's going to have a whole division where they're actually just pumping money into these companies. Similar to the CHIPS Act, similar to other, instruments that they've done in the past, I think, because it's a national security issue too. Mm-hmm. So cybersecurity is a national security issue, and the government cannot afford for their citizens to get scammed, but also for the government breaches. Because if they're hacking one thing, they're hacking everything, mm-hmm. and they can't afford. And they said, like, the outside governments have tried to we went to Congress. The first time we went to Congress, they told me, like, every single day, said country attacks us. Yep. And they know about it. And the government knows about it.
Yep. And look at partnerships too, Ian, before that's
the point I was just going to make.
Go ahead. I'll let you go. Go ahead.
Even though I think Anthropic is going to disrupt a lot of industries, don't be surprised if CrowdStrike and OpenAI or CrowdStrike and Anthropic make a partnership to patch whatever deficiencies that they may have. I know the stock has been beaten up for a little bit. That's slowly rising. But we're seeing, going back to NVIDIA being a platform, they've really opened up a lot of communication across companies that normally wouldn't be there. I wouldn't be surprised if they partnered together to find a way to patch some of those issues to not only grow revenue, but to bring legitimacy to CrowdStrike and to Anthropic together. So
yeah,
I wouldn't be worried long term.
They had Dara, the CEO of Anthropic, they announced partnership with CrowdStrike. In fact, he said that we're not here to replace it; we're actually here to enhance it.
Yeah.
So when you talk like that, it's okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. Now the mythos is getting out and running rampant. That is scary. That is scary.
It's like there's a page I follow and it talks about this week in AI. It's a great page to follow. And it just if you think about what happened, that was just announced in 1 week. They talked about the disruption that it was going to cause. And then the next week it was, hey, we found the open source code for it. In 1 week span.
Yeah. And you got to be worried about corporate espionage.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Okay, let's talk about the top IPOs impact ranking.
Ooh.
I mean, I think it's pretty clear. Well, we'll see what happens with this OpenAI scenario, but Anthropic, Databricks, SpaceX, all going to be incredible. My question is, I do want to ask, will the AI 8 replace the Max 7? Of course, Meta will be in there, NVIDIA will be in there. But if you had to just start as a new investor in 2027, if you had a bucket of all the new IPOs versus the Max 7, which one would you deploy capital into first?
So who would be the AI 8?
Who's this? You got SpaceX,
Anthropic, OpenAI, Databricks, Anduril, which I absolutely love.
Can I throw one in there? Because I think they just filed for IPO today. Cerebras. So they're
Sleeper.
Yeah, so this is in the semiconductor space. This is in the GPU, CPU space. They actually filed for an IPO a few years back, and then didn't go through there. They just filed again today, the IPO. I hate when they use like the NVIDIA competitor. Let's just say that it's a company in the semiconductor space.
Yeah, because NVIDIA don't have
there's not a competitor. So I'll throw that one in there because it's going to be a large. I think it sounds scary now to say that a company that might IPO at 30 billion is small. But when you're talking about these companies that we're speaking about,
1 and 2 trillion, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's do those 7.
Okay.
So if you have to do SpaceX,
what's the 7?
SpaceX, Databricks,
OpenAI,
Anthropic, Anduril,
Starlink.
Who else did you have? If it does, and we'll put Cerebras in there.
That's a tough 7, yo. That's a tough 7. And the crazy part, Elon has allocation in both.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Would you take the Mac? I wouldn't take this over the Max 7.
Really? Tell me why.
Well, if I'm looking at SpaceX, the cost associated is really high for them, and so a lot of the money comes from Starlink because the space program is actually running on debt. It doesn't make a profit yet.
Not yet.
The satellite part of it is going to be important if we can figure out how to make that efficient enough to become a source of energy. And that's where our data centers will exist. But knowing that and knowing the company that is going to make the TPUs for that satellite is inside the Max 7, which is Google. And Anthropic and OpenAI are still using the GPUs from either, and we should actually add Broadcom into the Max 7. And maybe Tesla sits out for a little bit. Just take a little breather. Yeah, take a little breather. Quick substitute.
Yeah,
because somebody is going to make the GPUs for that agentic AI and for that large language model to actually function. So they don't function without NVIDIA. They don't function without Broadcom, and they don't function without Google. So because of that, the more they make, then the more they'll have to spend.
Benefit. So, but Anthropic and OpenAI, Starlink and Anduril together, that's a top 4, bro. And these are versus conversations we need to have. Go ahead, Rashad.
Yeah. It's also a different era of IPOs because we're talking about $1 trillion IPOs now, like potentially. So when Google or Apple or NVIDIA or any of these companies IPO'd, nobody really even knew about these companies like that. Like, and they IPO'd and, their rise was happened over the course of time. Now these companies are famous and they're just as famous or more famous as some of the top companies in the world that's publicly traded now already. So when they IPO, like I said, they talking about rumors of SpaceX having $1 trillion IPO off the gate. It took the whole entire history of the stock market for the first company to reach $1 trillion. Now they're going to IPO at $1 trillion.
That's crazy.
So it's ridiculous.
The upside potential, you got to, that's to be thought about as well. Like how far can it actually go as far as
what's priced in it? Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, because it's priced in so high already. It's not like you buying Apple, 20 years ago.
Right.
But the interesting part with OpenAI and Anthropic, they're setting up to be the Apple and Microsoft conversation, enterprise versus consumer all over again. I think there's really big upside for Anthropic, but it does matter where they price it at IPO and then how much it flies away. Because if it comes in at 350 and immediately goes to 600 in 2 months, then that's going to be a tough conversation.
SpaceX has a potential to IPO at nearly $2 trillion.
Mm-hmm.
Anthropic passed OpenAI last month in terms of potential valuation. They're at $1 trillion. 2 months ago, they were valued at $350 billion. 2 months later, they're at $1 trillion. OpenAI is at 800 or 900 billion, depending on where you look at for valuation. Those companies would, if they IPO'd at those numbers, they would be in the top 15 companies in the market cap off the rip.
Mm-hmm. Sam Altman, you better get every apology letter together, my boy. Use that technology and handwrite it.
So that's where I was going to head to next. We have to, what's happening right in with Elon and Sam, the court proceedings started this week. That's a pretty big deal.
That's a big deal, bro.
Yeah. So Sandai is there as well, the CEO of Microsoft, because they have a 49% stake in OpenAI. Elon's argument is this was a nonprofit. What happened? How did we that you converted and took their money? And so, what if the court rules in Elon's favor?
You better move for other country.
Anything is possible. What's the best utility stock pick?
That's a good one. Let me look. Troy, you can go first. Let me see.
Utility. I'm gonna out of XLU, right? If we're talking, and that's the Spider Fund ETF for utilities.
It's tough. It's a few good ones.
I like a few. GV I thought should have been in there. It isn't. I know Duke Energy is a solid one. NRG is a solid one. And so this is one of those sectors where rather than taking them individually, I'll take them all as one and just get the ETF, which is why I'm in XLU, and I know a lot of people in the community are in XLU as well. I'd rather go that route because I know that energy is still going to be a huge story. In fact, that was one of the keys that they said during our visit. None of this works without energy. Yeah. Right? We have GPUs. We have it. We have the connectivity. The thing that we don't have that we absolutely need more of right now is energy.
Yeah.
I'm taking them as a cluster.
I like Duke at 111.61. And then I like Nextera. If we get to, let's say, 82, 86, I like Nextera. Nextera's been in Stock Club since 2021. So if I had to lean towards one, I would do that. But like I said, there's a bunch of really good energy companies right now. And I was telling on Stock Club, it's only really 3 industries that matter: tech, healthcare, and energy. So if you picked out of those sectors, there's so many good players now. It's really hard to go wrong. But if I had to lean on one, it would be Nextera. So.
Flashback Monday. You want to play your AMD clip?
Why not?
All right, let's play the AMD clip from 2020, shall we? And everybody, what you think would have bought Google, Amazon, Apple? Yep. We can never predict the future, never. But it's kind of like sports, where you got Zion probably going to be a Hall of Fame.
You can see certain signs, yeah.
Do you have any stock that's like not at that level yet, but you really think that has potential to kind of like be big in a few years?
Oh, I mean, AMD has held value very well.
What is that?
NVIDIA has held value. They're a microchip maker. So if you look at the ticker symbol A and like Apple, Michael, Douglas, NVIDIA, because they're always going to be tech related. You notice all the companies that we mentioned that have done well and taken off are all in the tech sector.
Yeah.
I'm not the smartest guy, but retail gets hit hard. Retail has a cap of how high and how low to go. Tech does not. Even Tesla. Tesla is not a car company. Tesla is a technology company.
Yeah. They just asked them to make the ventilators.
Yes.
Yeah. They're the only car company that didn't stop production.
Yes. It's a technology company. Elon Musk came from...
Okay.
Man, we was on the green wall.
Look
Shout out to the dining room.
Shout out to the dining room. Classic episode. That was before Market Mondays even took off. So, in the same fashion in which I may have been critical of Tim Cook potentially leaving the mothership that is Apple, just because I give a great assessment does not mean that I'm out of a stock. For the record, respectfully and humbly, I was one of the first people to say pair NVIDIA and AMD together. I've had some Red Panda Stock Club members be in it since 11. I've personally been in it since 8. So I know there's a narrative going around that I am anti-AMD. I'm just showing my intellectual prowess when investing in the stock. But before we had the first episode of Market Mondays, I talked about AMD. So just like I can do something stupid, just because if I do something stupid and Shawty like, yo, why you being dumb? It don't mean that he's out on me and Red Panda. He like, in this moment, quit being stupid. Same thing. Yeah. So I just wanted to play that flashback moment for those of you who may not have think that I've talked about or called AMD. And shout out to in the core, one of the core things, 20% of the new millionaires in Red Panda have 250,000 positions or up from AMD. So it's been in the pick stock club for a long time. But yes, and shout if I made you money off AMD. Respectfully,
of course, at all time. And I do want to show this too, because I spoke to Dave Shan, speaking of AMD, and I asked him if it was okay to show this. And he said no problem. So let's show this screenshot from Dave Shan, shall we? So shout out to the brother Dave Shan. I thought that was good because he came on the show. So when people, if you remember, when Shans came on the show, we talked about AMD. So that was, AMD option call. And Troy's been talking about the options, AMD and all of that. And Shans, that was the first time I did that for him, actually.
Yeah. In Houston, right?
Yeah, because he didn't know how to, he never made an option. He didn't know how to actually physically do it. So we was actually on the plane. We was online to get onto the plane. And he's like, yo, how do I do it? And I'm just like, yo, hey, give me your phone. And I actually like put it inside of his phone. So he's currently up 684%.
Amazing.
And he said, if you see that screenshot, he said, I forgot to sell some AMD. I'm glad I did, and laughed out loud. So he up almost 700%. So he got his green jacket. He didn't get his green jacket, but he got his jean jacket. He definitely got the jean jacket is 500%.
That's a bar, yo. Wait, what?
Wait. So that actually came, that AMD call, interestingly enough, was a similar conversation. I got a phone call, yo, you believe in this thing? I'm believing it. It's going somewhere. And I think that's the beauty of this show, right? Like, no matter, you say something, I say something, we don't agree. You're going to hear perspectives and you can still decide. I think that actually makes it for a better listenership, right? Because you can hear two things and say, hey, you know what? Both of these things make sense. Let me make my own decisions. That's literally how the Chance thing happened. And so congrats to him. And the Corday, so I can't take credit. My man Corday, shout out to our brother Corday. Corday came up with the jean jacket. He came up with the jean jacket. He was super excited to call. FaceTime me, yo, I got 1,000% on this one. This is crazy. I did that in like 2 weeks. But yo, I got this other one that's running. It's like 500%. I'm like, yo, bro, that's not really the jean. He's like, I know it ain't green, but at least can I get a jean?
That's funny.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, Corday, shout out to Corday. He coined a jean jacket, but we gotta borrow that because that's a good. But the great thing about the Chance thing is he's actually up because the reason why I put him in that call is because I'm in that.
You in that call, yeah.
And that AMD was down at that time, so I'm like, this opportunity for you to. So he's actually up more. I'm up like 490%. He's actually up more on that call because when I put him in it, I was already down. So he got it at a lower price point than I actually got it at. So shout out to Dave Shan.
That's real, right? Yeah. So that's why I got the call. Yo, you were down. Do you still believe in this? Yeah, still believe in this. Shan buys it. Well, you're seeing a lot of that. And I'll just say this. There's nothing that makes me more excited, more like happy than watching the team win. So watching him go up 1,000%, I'm like, I watched my brother go up 1,000%. Like, he's up 1,000%. Like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, we're just trying to figure this thing out. Like I told you, they banned him from using his computer. Like he can't go on certain like Yahoo Finance and stuff.
Yeah, because he in there investing. He
investing. He had 1,000% sitting at his desk at his school. That is like, hey, we did it. So when we're watching all these people making this money, new millionaires, new 1,000%, like, that's wealth. Wealth is being created, and it's really by one decision, man. So shout out to everybody.
And I'll say this too, hold stocks for a long time. Like, this isn't First Take. Opinions in real life, opinions don't build equity and wealth at all. Notice, like, if I say I love a stock long term, there's a couple ways you can express it. Hold a stock long term. If you have enough capital, you can do warrants. You can do 2-year options. You can trade the future in which the index is listed in. There's a bunch of ways you can express it. But having an opinion or clip culture, not gonna make you no millions. Listening to me will.
And the crazy thing about the Shan thing is, when he came on that show, he was like, yo, should I sell? And it was like, nah, it's not time to sell yet.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people in the comments was like, yo, you tripping, bro. You should sell. He was up 250, 300%. Now you can never lose by taking profit, but now he's up almost 700%. And the only thing I was wrong about in that video was it says Zion was a future Hall of Famer. And
at the point he was on pace to be.
He definitely had the potential to be a future Hall of Famer.
He's not done yet. Let's see.
It doesn't look like he does.
I need him to get to Chicago. That's what.
But I will say you made it for what Wemby call. You called Wemby.
I did. Shout out to my man Greg Barnett. I hope he don't get mad at me saying this, but when he was like, "Yo, he ain't think Wemby's going to pan out. He's an NFL agent." I said, Wemby going to be top 10 ever. He started laughing, like 100 laugh out loud. Anytime Wemby, I sent it to him. Now he's like, "Yo, you was right, bro."
Well, he still has some stuff to prove.
No, Wemby is.
No, he has the potential to do it. I'm not. No.
Shout out to my brother Tim Martin.
He has the potential.
As long as he stay injury free.
Look, I'm a diehard Bulls fan. I've seen potential, like, gone.
He's on track.
He is.
On track.
But so was I.
Top 10.
So was my guy, MVP. Youngest in the history of the NBA.
D Rose is that dude, yo. Poole was different, bro.
I'm not. I pray that he stays healthy because if he does, he's out of there.
He has
and going back to organization, like character of organization, right?
Yeah,
the Spurs have vested. Not saying that they didn't have vested interest in D Rose.
You should have put that in your NBA conspiracies, man. Why you ain't do that? How they end up with the number one pick?
And I did call Mayor Mondani, who's becoming my favorite politician, by the way.
Oh, you got a call with him?
No. He's saying he called. Like he's saying that.
Oh, okay.
Remember early on in the primary, but we'll talk about it on Blackout because 2 weeks ago we spoke about deed theft. And a few days ago, he created the agency at Brooklyn Bank, by the way. Shout out to Drew Bernard.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Press conference right there.
He created the agency for deed theft, first time ever. So that was, he's doing the right things. He's doing the right thing.
How the Spurs got Wemby or Chicago got D Rose?
Yo, why are you bringing up old things, man? Let's just stick with the Spurs, man.
Oh, okay. Cleveland getting Bron kind of interesting too. I ain't gonna lie.
Cleveland got Bron, Kyrie, Anthony Bennett, and Andrew Wiggins. Like, what are we talking about?
But only 2 of them worked out.
Andrew Wiggins is a champion, just not with them.
Yeah.
Let's bring the brother Cedric Nash up, shall we?
He back there laughing already.
What's the deal?
You guys are backing me up, man.
That was good, man.
My brother, how you doing?
Hey, no complaints. No complaints.
If you don't know who Cedric Nash is, you must be living under a rock.
Yeah, you live under a rock.
Apparently.
He definitely came on Market Mondays last year, lit it on fire. InvestFest presentation, crazy. Your booth at InvestFest, legendary.
You had the Lambo out there.
Yeah.
Tough.
Yeah.
I
had to do something to get some attention, you know.
Well, you couldn't bring the boat, so you had to bring the Lambo, right?
The boat was too big.
So man, serial entrepreneur, somebody that's been through everything. He's very transparent. He's transparent as far as having struggles in businesses and rebounding, getting a divorce, rebounding, rebranding. But somebody that's done at a very high level, like very high level in business as far as, multi-millionaire, and somebody that's been able to scale and somebody that's been able to do it in real estate. And, very, when he talks, he's able to articulate it to just the average person can understand. And that's a skill set within itself. Cause a lot of times people that's very high up in business, they can't communicate the same way that, the regular person can actually process the information. So whenever we get the brother to come on, it's always a pleasure. So thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me. Appreciate this.
No problem. So, man, we got a lot of questions. So first we started off with, the Millionaire Blueprint. And I want to talk to college students and that just the college, maybe people that just got out of college. Cause I know you talk about what a broke college student mindset really means, right? And why it's important to keep that level of hunger. So what is a broke college student mindset? What does that mean? And talk about that.
When you go to college and you got to eat ramen noodles because you ain't got no money, it's like that mindset, that frugal mindset is so valuable when you first come out of college because it allows you to practice living below your means. And so, one of the things that, when we go to college, we come out, we're excited about not being a broke college student. So we think of all the things that we can buy. But to be honest with you, that is the mindset that young college students need to have graduating. That's exactly the mindset I had when I came out of college. I was living on a very, very tight budget. I was saving everything I could. I wasn't investing much in the stock market at the time because I didn't start until a little bit later. But the point is I was saving like crazy because I wanted to kind of build wealth. I wanted to follow the footsteps of my millionaire mentors. And I was saving money. I got married right out of college and I was saving My ex-wife was, saving like crazy. That's probably why I didn't stay married, is because I was too intense about living on this budget and not spending much money. And I bought a condo right out of college. So that's where that mindset, that's just so key to young people. If they could start that way, man, when they come out of college, continue that, knowing that they're going to be rich sometime, that's going to put them on the road way ahead of everybody else.
So part of what we're seeing, and said, I want to get your opinion, is if we look at the overall market, right? We talk about AI. We talk about a lot here on the show. We talk about how disruptive it's going to be. Obviously, you're an entrepreneur. You've navigated 30 years of business. How should people be looking at this market, right? Like, first is having the mindset of being frugal, like that broke college student, but now going into a space where you might be walking out into the career field and there's nothing there for you. How should we be preparing